Hello, friends. What do you do when you can't conquer your neighbors just yet? Easy. Pretend to be best friends until you're ready. The Tiber sparkles beside my canoe this morning, calm and clear. But not too far from here, centuries ago, Rome's alliances were anything but calm. Welcome to the story of the Latin League, an awkward, ancient group project between city-states who didn't trust each other and really shouldn't have. Let's rewind. In early Italy, Latin-speaking communities dotted the landscape like olives on a hillside. They shared a language, a few gods, and a deep mistrust of anyone holding too much power, including Rome. But facing threats from the Etruscans, the Volsci, and the Samnites, they realized something important. Alone, they'd fall. Together, they might not. So, sometime in the 5th century BCE, the Latin League was formed. It was a military alliance of about 30 cities, with Rome as one of the equals, at least on paper. Each member agreed to come to the defense of the others, share spoils of war, and ideally, stop stabbing each other in the back. And for a while, it worked. Rome and its Latin allies fought shoulder to shoulder in wars and skirmishes across the region. But the thing about Rome is, it doesn't like being equal for long. Rome grew in power, wealth, and confidence. It started treating alliance rules like suggestions. Want to keep half the loot instead of a third? Sure. Want to lead the joint army every time? Absolutely. Want to build roads that all lead back to you? Definitely. The Latin cities noticed, and they were not thrilled. Tensions finally exploded in 340 BCE in what became known as the Latin War. The Latin cities, tired of Rome's rising ego, decided it was time to bring their overconfident partner back in line. But Rome had no interest in being reined in. It was a brutal conflict. Romans fought side by side and often sword to sword with former allies. In the end, Rome won. But here's where it gets clever. Instead of wiping out the Latin cities or enslaving them, Rome absorbed them. Some got Roman citizenship, others were offered partial rights, and a few were allowed to manage their own affairs, as long as they sent soldiers when called. It was the beginning of Rome's most brilliant trick. Turn your enemies into partners under your control. The Latin League dissolved. But from its ashes rose something far more powerful, a web of alliances that extended Roman influence across central Italy. Rome didn't need to conquer by force anymore. It could do it with promises, treaties, and the occasional nudge from a legion. It was a win-win, at least from Rome's perspective. The allies got protection and a ticket to the winning team. Rome got manpower, loyalty, and a growing sphere of influence without lifting a sword. Well, not every time. The river beneath me reflects a shifting sky, and it's fitting. Rome was shifting too, from a scrappy republic to a rising hegemon, building not just with bricks, but with deals. The Latin League may have started as a brotherhood of equals, but it ended as the foundation of Roman dominance, a quiet revolution in empire building. But hold tight, friends, the real show is about to begin. Because next time, Rome doesn't just make deals, it conquers. Mountains, cities, tribes, all of Italy is about to kneel, march, or sign up willingly. Coming up next, how Rome conquered Italy.